Hey class, we're gonna do some math today. Jump in with me as we explore Google Sheets and using the power of computers to help you do math faster. Today in particular, we're taking a data set and we're gonna actually build some charts out of it. So let's dive in. It's in here somewhere. Here we go. So here we have the previous data set about jump math, jump. And we've taken our attempts, and we have taken our heights, and we've determined our vertical, and we even got away with using math and a basic programming to actually make that fit and do some of the math for us. So that was the previous video. If you haven't checked that out, you can check that out. But today we're going to take a look at how to take this data and turn it into not just any charts, but hopefully take it up a notch into some useful charts. So first things first, you can see I've got here jump height versus student height, and that's a scatter plot. Let me just get out of the way here. So that is a scatter plot over there, and they are awesome. So you definitely want to understand scatter plots and the idea of finding the line of best fit. Is there a correlation between the height of the student and how high they can jump? Which is one thing, and honestly, it kind of logically, you do have to definitely use your, does it make sense? Because it does kind of make sense that the taller you are, the higher you can touch up on the wall. And that's just, that's just biology and physics, and no shame on anybody. However, I do want to point out that sometimes when you look at the data, the tallest person may not actually be the best jumper. I mean, look at this bit of data over here on the side. That is what we call an outlier. Let's take a slightly closer look at that, shall we? So we're gonna go take a look at that outlier data. Check that out. So here we've got the heights of the students. Taller the student, generally trend is moving kind of in this direction, up that way, right? So taller they are, the higher they got. It kind of makes sense, generally speaking. Not all cases, right? But the general trend line is a slight increase up and that way, right? Just a little bit. But there's a general little bit of scattering of data here. Oh, I'm getting hit in the head. And then we've got our outlier data. We've got this person over here who managed a very high jump and not one of the tallest students. In fact, one of the shorter students. So this is an outlier of data, which can really be interesting. Now, we're going to take a look at the next bit, which is vertical versus height. Now, here we've got some interesting stuff. We got, again, a bit of data sorting going on to do. But basically, we've got a bit more of a scattering. There's no easy line that could fit here. Like that earlier line of general increase, it's a little there, but it's getting skewed by these down here. So it's kind of all over the place. But again, we've got our outlier data way over there. So that's going to be changing how we, and that one down there, I almost missed that one. So that's going to be changing how we can see, is this a correlation? Now, the best part is the top one, let me jump back up to that, pretty clear correlation. Down here tells a different story when we're comparing how tall they are versus how high they can jump, which takes out that factor of how tall they are to begin with, and just like how good a jumper they are, how much height can they get on that jump. And I love it when data tells a different story from what you expect, because guess what? Anybody can have great vertical if you want to get out there and get it, and you train and you practice, and you are just naturally very talented at jumping. No matter how tall you are, you can absolutely be a pretty good jumper. Now, are you going to jump as high as the guy who already started really tall, or the girl that started already tall? Maybe, maybe not. That's a different story. But anybody can have good vertical, even if your overall height difference on the wall is not gonna necessarily be the highest. But hey, go outliers. I'm a big fan of outlying. All right. That is a bit about scatter plots. Now we're gonna go and show another kind of graph and how I made these graphs. In fact, I'm gonna keep it to scatter plots for this video. So I really don't like doing this, but we're gonna just shuffle this off to the side. Get rid of that for now. Okay, so generally speaking, let's go back to my big page here. We're going to start out with our data, and I found it usually works best to click your your vertical first, and then you can sort out your horizontal. So if you want your height to be on the vertical, then you're going to click that first, and if you want your height on your horizontal, you want to click that second. So you'll notice on my earlier data sets, I wanted the height of the student on the horizontal, so I had to add that second. So that's what that is. So let's go take a look see. So I'm gonna rebuild this from scratch. So I'm gonna go with attempt. Now here I had to choose one attempt or the other. I'm gonna attempt 2. Then I just click on that whole column, and I then go insert, and I go down to chart. And it's gonna want to choose a couple of different. If you look over on this side, it chooses between scatter chart because it remembered, but it could show up as a line graph, and it really is as quick as just clicking on this to a column graph and so on. Now, this is not particularly useful. I mean, it's kind of a random scattering, but I haven't added my axis yet, my x-axis. This is just the y-axis. So I would then go over here, and I would click add x-axis. It's kind of under my camera here. Let me move slightly. Whoop, there it is. So you want to add your x-axis, and I want to select the cell range over here for height. So we're going to compare our student height to our attempt height. So how I do that, I've added x, and now I'm going to click select a data range. So my height is E, and I want E1, so I'm going to type it in here. E1 colon E20, let's say 8 or 9. That's just to make sure I select as much of that E column that I want, which is this one where the mouse is moving. Okay, so I click OK. Now I've got my student heights along the bottom, and I've got my jump heights as my vertical. Now none of this is labeled yet, so that's where I'm going to go next. I'm actually going to click up on the right over here again. Ah! What happened? Oh, yeah, it closed. Okay, if it closes, you just double click on the chart again. So I'm going to go up here, double click on the chart, charts and axis titles, and now I get to choose. Do I want my chart title? Sure, let's do student height versus jump height. And I think I probably want to switch those because we have jump height on the y-axis. So we're going to switch that just so it is labeled and you can see it showing up there. Now, the other thing I want to do is change the horizontal axis title, which is the horizontal one is this one. So that's student height. And you can see it showed up right there next to me. And then I want to change this drop down menu to over there to vertical. So we'll now go jump height. And then you can see it shows up on the side of my graph there. It looks all pretty. So that will hopefully work out for you. And you could leave it as a bar chart if you want to. But again, this doesn't really tell me all that much. So what you can do if you are a data expert is you can actually just try out different columns and see which ones make sense. For me though, the one that really works with this data is the one we did before, which is Scatterplots, which is over there. That's the one that's suggested. Generally speaking, Google is pretty smart. Go with a suggested one most of the time, but you can mess around and see which one you want. And you can also flip it. So maybe you want it on the horizontal. But anyway, this is suggesting we do a scatterplot. So let's give it a try. There we go. See that? So now we've got a lovely little, hey, not cool, man. It deleted my titles. Vertical axis, student height. All right, it's over there now. Apparently it switched them. I don't know why it did that. That's weird. All right, that is so bizarre. And jump height. All right, there we go. So now we've got our chart and we can actually resize it, stretch it however we want it to be. You can technically, you can change how you set up those these, and you can play around with these buttons over here can sometimes do stuff, but generally speaking, am I gonna no, I'm not gonna aggregate it. So if I take a closer look at this, let's go take a closer look. Slightly closer look, you can see now we've got a general line of fit that kind of goes yeah, this way, man. And it's not quite flat. You can kind of tell by the general trend, it's slightly increasing, and there's a slightly more on the lower side over here than as it increases, but it's reasonably flat. So the taller the student is, the higher the dot appears, but the taller the jump is, the further to the side that it appears. So there's a little bit of correlation, but not a lot, not a strong correlation. I mean, they're all kind of clustered along that line of best fit. If I were to draw, I wonder if I can do that. Insert, can I insert a line? Draw a ring. Ah, it's not gonna let me do it easily. I mean, I could try, I suppose. Where did it? Oh, it did it. It's over here. Ah, that's reasonably close. There we go. So you can kind of see that sort of fits the line of best fit, is about that, more or less. So they're close to the line. There's a small correlation there, and it's increasing. So that'll help you to try to visualize that line of best fit. So that's what I recommend for using Scatterplots, but you can use this to try out different chart types to see what your data can look like. And visualizing good data, it's one thing to get good data, it's another thing to visualize it well, and it can actually give you insights into things. All right, that's all. This is getting long, so thank you very much, and I hope you can use this, and if you have any questions, you can talk to me in class. See you next time. Good night.